The job I'm at does not really know that I have CF. The HR department is aware just through processing leave of absence forms, but that's it. It's not something that I felt I needed to share or wanted to share with my coworkers, since I've been able to fulfill my job duties and function without them needing to know.
When I was interviewing for my job, it was a hard decision to figure out, do I say, by the way, I have cystic fibrosis? Or part of me, I felt like I needed to do it on my own merit and not have that play any part in their consideration whether or not I got the job. So I didn't disclose it in my interview. It took me a couple of months after I got the job to kind of pull my supervisor aside and say, listen, and it was actually because I had an appointment, a clinic appointment, and I said, well, I can either say I'm just going to be gone, or it's not going to stop. I have to tell them eventually. So it was a tough conversation. It was, anytime you're talking about yourself and something very personal like CF, it's a tough conversation. But fortunately, and this is in part because of, I think, my realism in selecting the right job, they've afforded me great flexibility. And I've always felt that CF doesn't define who I am, and it shouldn't define who I am, but it's a piece of me. And it's a piece of me just like my career is a piece of who I am. 90% of the people I work with know I have CF. They come out to the walk each year and then they support me, and they've become almost like a second family. And I think for me, that's become so important, because you have your family to support you, but you spend as much or more time with the people that you work with. And if they don't know you have CF and they don't know when there's good days and bad days, it's going to be a lot harder.
Throughout my career, I've been fairly open about CF, and part of that is because once I got out of college and realized CF was an important part of me, and I wanted to be vocal about it. So then it was natural that I was at the CF Foundation for many years. It was public knowledge that I had CF. I testified before Congress. So when I came to the FDA for an interview, I realized I needed to be proactive about it, and it's the federal government, they're not likely to discriminate. So I was actually comfortable saying in my first interview with them, I have the qualifications I hope that you need with my law degree and my science, but you also know that I come to this job as a patient. I have healthcare issues, but I also will think as a patient as I evaluate issues. So I tried to look at it from a career benefit as well, but I also knew that there were benefits to working with the federal government as a person with healthcare problems. I think it's really important that the employer understands I have CF, I have health needs. They do come first for many things. I do try and work around days when I've got meetings scheduled and if I need to rearrange a doctor's appointment. But for the most part, I try and fit what I need to into my schedule, and my boss is very understanding, and I try to be upfront with the boss about the needs.
To learn more about this issue, ask your CF Foundation Accredited Care Center or contact the CF Foundation directly. Call 800-FIGHT-CF or email us at info@cff.org.